Celebrities who were secretly trapped by fame. They had the money. They had the fame. They had the spotlight. But they didn't have freedom. From the outside, it looked like success. Behind the scenes, it was a cage. Contracts they couldn't escape. Images they couldn't break. People making decisions for them. These celebrities didn't disappear. They were trapped. In this video, we uncover the strange, forgotten, and rarely discussed moments where fame stopped being a dream and became a prison. Not rumors. Not gossip. Real stories hiding in plain sight. How do you walk away when the world won't let you? We begin with a case that shocked the world. A global superstar who lost control of her own life. This is Britney Spears. One strange truth. One hidden story. The side of fame you never see. This is Celebrity Unscreened. Britney Spears famous, but not free. In 2007, the world laughed when Britney Spears shaved her head. What most people didn't realize was that it wasn't a breakdown. It was resistance. The world she lived in. Britney Spears wasn't just famous. She was everywhere. Albums, commercials, interviews, tours. By her early 20s, her face was global property. But her life wasn't. The part people missed. Here's the strange detail most people forget. Britney didn't control her schedule. She didn't control her money. She didn't even control her public image. Every move was approved. Every decision filtered. Even adulthood didn't give her autonomy. The conservatorship. After her public struggles, something unusual happened. Britney was placed under a conservatorship. That meant she couldn't make legal decisions, she couldn't access her finances freely. She couldn't remove the arrangement herself, and this wasn't temporary. It lasted over a decade. The weirdest contradiction here's where the story turns unsettling. Britney was considered too unstable to control her life, yet somehow stable enough to tour, record albums, perform nightly shows, generate millions. Trapped, but productive. The silence. For years, Britney said very little. Fans assumed she was fine. But small clues leaked out: strange Instagram posts, repeated phrases, cryptic captions. It felt off. Like someone speaking in code. When the world finally listened, then came one moment. In court, Britney spoke directly. Not scripted. Not managed. She said she felt controlled, monitored, punished. She used one word that stunned everyone: traumatized. Why this mattered? This wasn't just about Britney. It exposed something bigger. Fame doesn't always give power. Sometimes, it removes it. Britney Spears didn't disappear from fame. She was trapped inside it. The next celebrity fought the system too, but chose mystery instead. Michael Jackson, childhood fame and contracts that bound the king of pop. He was called the king of pop. His moves were legendary. His voice, unmatched. His fans, devoted worldwide. But behind the sequins and spotlight, Michael Jackson was a child trapped in contracts he didn't sign, and fame he never asked for. Globe showing Europe, Africa, the image the world knows. Michael Jackson is remembered as a pop icon, a groundbreaking entertainer, the artist behind hits like Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It. Yet few realize the price of becoming a global superstar as a child. Brain childhood under the spotlight. Michael's career began with the Jackson 5. Signed by Motown at age 11. Demanded perfection, constant touring, and media appearances. Childhood stripped away for the sake of entertainment. He grew up living under rules he didn't make, performing for a public that adored him, but never truly letting him be a kid. Contracts. As Michael matured, the control shifted to legal and financial systems. Multi-album contracts with rigid stipulations, limited control over earnings as a minor, obligations to record, tour, and promote, constantly restricted creative freedom until he negotiated deals later in his career. Even when he became one of the most famous people on earth, contracts still shaped his every move. Performing arts. The personal cost. Michael's early fame had deep consequences, emotional struggles from isolation and constant scrutiny, pressure to maintain a perfect, public image, personal identity often suppressed by the king of pop persona, struggles with trust, relationships, and mental health. Fame gave him unimaginable success, but it also created a prison of expectation and legal entrapment. Tornado rare insights. Michael reportedly had very little time for childhood normalcy, birthdays, school, or friends were sacrificed. Managers and labels enforced strict schedules and behavior rules. He later fought for more creative control, leading to conflicts with Motown and other record executives. Despite the wealth, he often felt emotionally trapped by his contracts and public persona. Even iconic performances came at the cost of his personal freedom. Puzzle piece: the lesson from Michael. Michael Jackson's life shows that fame doesn't guarantee freedom. Childhood success can become a lifelong cage. Contracts and industry pressures can dictate your every move. Even global stardom can feel like a life lived on someone else's terms. Michael's story is a reminder. The brightest spotlight can cast the darkest shadows. Britney Spears was trapped by a conservatorship. Prince fought labels for ownership. Beyoncé's image became a cage. Taylor Swift battled for her masters. Elvis Presley was controlled by Colonel Parker. Judy Garland endured the Hollywood system. Michael Jackson? He was trapped by fame before he even knew how to walk into a recording studio alone. Next episode, Prince, fighting for his music, identity, and freedom from industry chains. One hidden truth. One story of control. The side of fame the public rarely sees. This is Celebrity Unscreened. 3. Prince, the artist who battled the music industry to own his art. He was a musical genius. A legend. An icon. But for Prince, the very industry that made him famous became his cage. Contracts, record labels, and the struggle for ownership defined his career and his identity. Globe showing Europe, Africa. The image the world knows Prince is remembered as a multi-instrumentalist prodigy, a boundary-pushing performer, creator of hits like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, and 1999. Yet behind the dazzling outfits, falsetto, and flamboyant performances, he was fighting for control of his own life and art. Brain, the record label struggle. Prince signed with Warner Brothers in the late 1970s. Early success brought fame, but also strict album quotas and release schedules. Warner Brothers controlled his music, marketing, and public image. Creative freedom was often stifled by contractual obligations. He felt trapped, his music wasn't fully his own. The art he created became the label's property, and he couldn't release it on his terms. The battle for ownership. In the 1990s, Prince took radical steps to changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, the I Love symbol, as a protest against the label. Wrote Slave on his face during performances as a statement of ownership. Released music independently whenever possible, challenging the industry system. Prince's battle wasn't just about money, it was about identity, autonomy, and respect for his creativity. Performing arts. The personal cost. The fight for freedom came at a heavy price. Constant tension with record executives, pressure to release commercially viable albums, public confusion about his name change and artistic decisions. Isolation from the industry while trying to maintain control. Even at the height of fame, Prince's life was dominated by the struggle to own himself. Tornado rare insights. Prince stored unreleased tracks in vaults, refusing to let the label profit from them. He meticulously controlled every detail of his live shows, album artwork, and marketing. Once sued Warner Brothers, risking public backlash and legal retaliation, to regain ownership rights. He maintained near-total creative independence, often at the expense of mainstream exposure. Prince didn't just perform for fans, he fought for the right to perform on his own terms. Puzzle piece. The lesson from Prince. Prince's story shows a harsh truth about fame: the industry can exploit even the most brilliant talent. Ownership is power, control over your work is survival. Sometimes the fight behind the music is just as dramatic as what's on stage. Prince didn't just make music. He redefined what it means to take back your life from the system. Britney Spears was trapped legally. Michael Jackson grew up trapped by contracts and childhood fame. Beyoncé's image became a cage. Taylor Swift battled for her masters. Elvis Presley was controlled by Colonel Parker. Judy Garland endured Hollywood's studio system. Prince? He turned the chains of his label into a war for artistic freedom. Next episode, Beyoncé, the superstar who turned perfection into a cage, continuing our Trapped by Fame series. One hidden truth. One story of control. The side of fame the public rarely sees. This is Celebrity Unscreened. And see the cage of perfection. Beyoncé is one of the most famous people on earth. And yet, you almost never hear her speak. No candid interviews. No messy moments. No accidents. That silence isn't natural. It's constructed. Globe showing Europe, Africa, the image the world knows. To the public, Beyoncé is flawless. Perfect performances. Perfect timing. Perfect control. She doesn't stumble into fame. She arrives. But that perfection didn't come from freedom. It came from restraint. Brain the strange choice she made. Here's the weird detail most people overlook. At the peak of her career, Beyoncé stopped explaining herself. No talk shows. No casual press runs. No personal oversharing. While other celebrities became more visible, she became quieter. Locked. Why silence became her shield. Early in her career, Beyoncé did interviews constantly. And every word was dissected, her body, her relationships, her intelligence, her emotions. Nothing was left alone. So she learned something early: the more you speak, the more they take. Chains, the invisible prison of perfection. Perfection sounds like power, but it's also a trap. Beyoncé couldn't have a bad day, publicly experiment without backlash, fail in front of people. Every move had to land. Because the moment she slipped, the narrative would eat her alive. The control. Here's where it gets strange. Beyoncé didn't just limit interviews. She approved every photo, controlled every release, restricted access to her personal life, removed unpredictability entirely. Her public persona became airtight. Untouchable. But airtight spaces have no air. Puzzle piece, the cost of never breaking character. Fans saw confidence. Behind the scenes, extreme discipline, exhaustion, pressure to maintain myth. Beyoncé once admitted she had to relearn how to relax. That's not normal. That's someone living inside a role. Candle, the rare cracks. Occasionally, the silence breaks. A lyric that feels too personal. A documentary moment that feels guarded. A pause before answering. Those moments feel shocking. Because we're not used to seeing her human. Brain, why she never disappeared. Unlike others in this series, Beyoncé didn't vanish. She stayed. But she stayed behind glass. She didn't escape fame. She redesigned it. Tornado, the weird contradiction. Here's the irony: Beyoncé is everywhere, but almost nowhere at the same time. She's visible but inaccessible. Famous but unreachable. That's not distance by accident. That's survival by design. Puzzle piece, what her story reveals. Beyoncé shows us something unsettling. Fame doesn't always trap you with chaos. Sometimes it traps you with perfection. And perfection leaves no room to breathe. Britney Spears lost control of her life. Prince lost control of his art. Beyoncé kept control by never letting the world fully in. Brain, the strategy most people misunderstand. Beyoncé isn't distant because she's cold. She's distant because she learned something early: visibility without control is dangerous. So she flipped the system. Instead of reacting to the media, Beyoncé isn't distant because she's cold. She's distant because she learned something early: visibility without control is dangerous. So she flipped the system. Instead of reacting to the media, she controlled the narrative before it could reach them. Every move, every album, every visual release was meticulously planned. The element of surprise became her shield. Performing arts, the weird details you probably missed. 1. Beyoncé reportedly rehearsed not just performances, but every public appearance, down to small gestures. 2. She timed interviews and press releases to the minute, often dictating how her face, tone, and words would be perceived. 3. Even casual photo shoots were choreographed like mini music videos. 4. Rare candid moments often ended up being heavily edited in documentaries to keep the myth intact. 5. Friends have said she kept a mental checklist of how to maintain her untouchable image daily. Each of these habits might seem obsessive, but for Beyoncé, it was survival. Puzzle piece: what her story teaches us. Beyoncé demonstrates an uncomfortable truth about fame. Fame doesn't always imprison you visibly. Sometimes it's a self-made cage. Perfection, image, and expectation become invisible chains. Survival isn't just about escaping, it's about mastering the system without letting it crush you. Unlike others who vanished, Beyoncé stayed in the spotlight. But she did it on her terms, quietly, invisibly, perfectly. Britney Spears lost control of her life. Prince lost control of his music. Beyoncé controlled her life at the cost of freedom inside fame. The next celebrity took a different path entirely, one obsessed with creating a persona that could survive controversy and chaos. Up next, Lady Gaga, the woman who invented herself to survive fame. One strange truth. One hidden story. The side of fame you never see. This is Celebrity Unscreened. The king trapped by his manager, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Millions adored him. Fans screamed at his every move. But behind the jumpsuits, guitars, and stage lights, he wasn't fully free. He was trapped by the man who managed his life, Colonel Tom Parker. Globe showing Europe Africa the image the world knows. Elvis is legendary, *iconic music * unmatched stage presence * cultural revolution, but fame didn't equal independence. Colonel Parker controlled nearly everything, * movie deals * concert tours * merchandising * even personal finances. The more Elvis succeeded, the tighter Parker's grip became. #brain. The grip of Colonel Parker was brilliant, but controlling. * negotiated contracts in his favor * kept Elvis tied to exploitative deals * profited immensely while Elvis had limited agency. Elvis called Parker his manager and friend. But in reality, Parker dictated the terms of the king's life. The purse Elvis endured, * exhausting touring schedules * creative restrictions in films and music * limited freedom to choose his projects * constant scrutiny from the press amplified by Parker. Even as he reached peak fame, Elvis often felt trapped, frustrated, and powerless. Performing arts rare insights. Some lesser-known facts about Elvis under Parker. Parker prevented Elvis from touring internationally because he didn't have a passport, keeping revenue domestic and under his control. Parker managed merchandising deals with minimal financial transparency to Elvis. Creative risks were discouraged, formulas were enforced for mass appeal. Parker even dictated personal expenditures, housing, and lifestyle logistics. Every move Elvis made was filtered through Parker's control. Tornado. The strange paradox. Elvis's superstardom came at a cost. He became the face of freedom in music while losing personal freedom. Parker created a brand empire using Elvis's name, but Elvis couldn't break free. Fame was both empowering on stage and imprisoning off stage. Puzzle piece. The lesson from Elvis. Elvis Presley's life teaches a stark truth. Fame is not freedom unless you can control it. Managers and industry structures can become invisible cages. Even the most adored icons can be prisoners of the system. Elvis didn't just sing about love, rebellion, and freedom, he lived under constraints few ever realized. Britney Spears was legally confined. Michael Jackson was bound by contracts and childhood fame. Prince battled labels. Beyoncé's image became a cage. Taylor Swift fought for her masters. And Elvis Presley? He was trapped by the very person meant to guide his career. The next episode examines Hollywood's grip on talent itself, with one of the most beloved and exploited stars in cinema history, Judy Garland. One hidden truth. One story of control. The side of fame the public rarely sees. This is Celebrity Unscreened. 7. Judy Garland. Hollywood's golden cage. Judy Garland, the voice behind Over the Rainbow. Her smile lit up screens, and her talent enchanted millions. But behind the sequins and glitter, Hollywood controlled her every move, sometimes to devastating effect. The image the world knows. Judy Garland is remembered as the girl next door with a voice that transcended generations, a cultural icon of innocence, hope, and musical brilliance. Yet fame came with a hidden cost. Hollywood studios didn't just manage her career, they managed her body, mind, and life. The Hollywood system. From a young age, Judy was heavily exploited by MGM. Strict diet and weight control enforced by studio doctors. Drug use encouraged to maintain energy and mood for filming. Grueling schedules, sometimes working 16 to 18-hour days. Little input over roles or creative choices. The studio didn't just mold her career, they molded her personality and even her health. The personal cost. The price of this control was staggering. Chronic exhaustion and health issues. Emotional instability intensified by studio manipulation. Loss of autonomy as a teenager and young adult. Personal relationships strained or broken. Her incredible talent thrived, while her personal life unraveled. Rare insights. Few know these darker details. Judy was forced on extreme diets and stimulant pills to maintain filming schedules. She was often humiliated for minor imperfections or weight fluctuations. Studio contracts restricted travel, financial decisions, and even social freedom. Many of her most iconic performances came despite the physical and emotional strain. Hollywood demanded brilliance at the cost of her well-being. The strange paradox. Garland's life highlights a cruel paradox. The world adored her freedom, talent, and spirit, but the studio system systematically stripped her of autonomy. The lesson from Judy Garland's story is a cautionary tale about fame. Talent alone cannot protect you from exploitation. Industry control can trap even the brightest stars. Sometimes, the price of stardom is personal freedom. Hollywood gave the world a legend, but it took a toll few fans ever saw. From Britney Spears' conservatorship, Michael Jackson's childhood contracts, Prince's battle for artistic freedom, Beyoncé's image imprisonment, Taylor Swift's fight over her masters, to Elvis Presley's entrapment by Colonel Parker. Judy Garland shows the ultimate cost of the Hollywood machine, and concludes our series on celebrities trapped by fame. One hidden truth. One story of control. The side of fame the public rarely sees. This is Celebrity Unscreened. One truth stands out: even the biggest stars aren't always free. Britney Spears' life was controlled by a court-appointed conservatorship. Michael Jackson grew up trapped by contracts and fame he didn't ask for. Prince fought to reclaim ownership of his music. Beyoncé's perfection became both armor and prison. Taylor Swift battled for her creative rights and masters. Elvis Presley was bound by Colonel Parker's control. Judy Garland endured Hollywood's exploitative studio system. Some fought back. Some adapted. Some were never truly free. And yet, they left legacies that still inspire awe. If these stories shocked you, imagine what else is hidden behind the spotlight. White heavy checkmark. Subscribe to Celebrity Unscreened for more untold truths about your favorite stars. Yeah! Like this video if you want to uncover the strange and secret sides of fame. Speech balloon. Comment below, which celebrity's story surprised you the most? Because the side of fame you never see is stranger than fiction.